Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Might be a little rough to get through, but here we go. Been debating about doing this video and how to start it, what actually to say. I know there's not a lot of you out there. I'm almost completely talking to myself and a camera. But still wanted to try to get these out consistently. Try to do once a week. Kind of like trying to do at least a podcast every 2 weeks. But life has a tendency to kick you in the face. And it's been kind of hard to get my feelings around it. So I guess I'll just start on a Saturday evening about 2 weeks ago. Closing about 9:45-ish. Trying to get the tills, as many as I can, before the doors actually lock. That way we only have a couple left and we can, if the store's straight enough, we can leave at a decent time. Because we close at 10 now, being holiday. And I try my best not to look at my phone at work. You're not supposed to be on your phone at work. I mean, I don't think of any job. We're allowed to keep them on us, and that has a lot more to do with active shooter stuff in case something happens. Pausing for dog barking. She probably will make an appearance in this video this time because it's quiet in the house and there are noises outside. So, but as I was saying, not trying to look at my phone a whole lot, but for some reason felt it going off, knew something was going on, and I'm getting a message from a friend to inform me that someone that has unexpectedly passed, someone I want to call, he is friend, he is what I like to call a con friend, and if you watch the first video, the video before this, we kind of get into that concept of con friend, and it's not really a lower designation or something. It's just a convention friend is someone that unfortunately you only get to see at a convention or at conventions. If you go to plural of them, you're still wonderful to see them. It's, you have a good time. You feel very close to them. This one was not only just a friend, but kind of a con legend. Joe passed away sometime Saturday. If you are anywhere in the con or burn community in the southeast, you'd know him as Photonome. And this was literally a punch in the gut. Mainly because of the suddenness of it. I mean, he had been active on his Facebook all day long, and all of a sudden you find out he had a heart attack, and it must have been one of what they call the widowmakers, which is basically the only time you know you have a problem is when you drop. And he was my age, maybe, probably, even I think he was a little younger, a couple of years younger than I am. I'm 51. And I never had the privilege of breaking bread with him at his home, or being closer to as close as some of his friends who were there, but I felt I felt kinship with him. I felt he was someone I always wanted it, if I didn't see him at con, it wasn't a complete con. This was a man I cosplayed as. I might even have the web slave do the thumbnail as one of the pictures from the kilt blowing when I did it as faux gnome, as photo, basically photo, as, but a faux photo gnome, phony photo gnome, it is. He did get to see it, and he appreciated it, and he was. This was going to be a video about him, and kind of a tribute to him. Fast forward to Monday morning. I'm back at work. I was supposed to work all weekend long, but after finding out about the death and it punching me in the gut like it did, I told him I was going to take a personal day on Sunday. I was not coming in. And unfortunately, the only reason I went back in is because jobs don't really recognize bereavement with friends. I think that's just a general thing. I mean, it sucks. And I'll get more into that later. But I'm back at work. I'm nowhere close to being okay. The best way that I could describe myself is I was being held together with scotch tape and sheer will. And then I got a text. This is 9 something in the morning, and it's from a text from someone, a friend who wouldn't be texting at 9 o'clock in the morning unless it was something important. And it was. It was the text to tell me that our friend Chad died in the hospital. He had been in the hospital for 2 weeks for congestive heart failure. And Chad was someone that I have had the pleasure of being around. He was. Let's get back into. It's going to be a little strange. Again, dog. I had to throw her out. I want to get through this. He was someone that I did. I've been to his home. Had him at my home. We've been a mutual friend. We've gone we've gone camping together. I've seen his band. In fact, the Monday I was going in, I was actually thinking of the time that I got mistaken for Photo Gnome by a tilted kilt waitress. We had gone to go see Chad, had a band, he got his band, he was a drummer, and they were playing at a tilted kilt over by, going local, by Perimeter Mall. It's no longer there, I'm not even sure what it is now. And I guess the waitress that was serving us worked at the one on the other side of town. And I guess it seemed Photo Gnome. Now, Photo Gnome, we share a slight resemblance, mainly being larger, bald men who tend to wear kilts and beards. Which is one of the reasons why I cosplayed. And I was thinking about that, particularly that morning. As you tend to do when there's loss, you tend to reminisce and need a little sustenance. So that was a hard. Again, it wouldn't take much to kind of to get to you in the first place, and then another kick in the can, because again, this is a guy who is my age or younger. leaving behind a wife and a little girl. So this video isn't just about one, but two very larger than life men who you couldn't help but like. They photo of them seemed to be, I've never heard a bad thing about him. He was a photographer. There's never been anything, even now, no one has come out and said, what sometimes happens post mortem. People kind of come out of the woodwork. And, everybody who's met him, even when they said, maybe I didn't think of, didn't spend that much time around, but, he affected their lives. And I guess this is part of the whole con friendship, is that it doesn't, there are some people that doesn't take much to be around them to where they will affect you. And in Chad's situation, he was a fixture with our group. Not as much towards the end. He had responsibilities. He was a father. He was dealing with sobriety. He had life. But that didn't. In fact, him and Eric, the friend who told me about his passing, started the whole. We call each other Captain, kind of a term of endearment. And Chad was kind of the start of that. Him and Eric were the ones that started Captain. And if you were a captain, you were a good guy. You're someone that you can count on. Good for a drink, good for a laugh, good for a shoulder to cry on. And not a lot of people like that. And these are two men that will be missed a lot. And I think the roughest part is when it comes to friends and the world at large, you don't get the time to process because life moves on. And unfortunately, you still have to get up and go to work. Because you have responsibilities. Or in my case, a overblown sense of duty that you don't want to be the one that calls out, that your coworkers can't rely on, especially in this time. This is my own. Because I know after I heard about Chad, I kept trying to work. And mainly because I didn't want to leave my crew short-handed. I lasted long enough for my replacement to come in for the day, and I came home, but I was back at work the next day. And grief is a hell of a thing. Ended up storming out of work Saturday because, again, when you're wrapped like, when you're being held together by sheer will, sometimes you break. It's hard to deal. keep moving forward. And I think, unfortunately, that's all I've got. Except for maybe there's a meme on Facebook running around about telling your friends you love them so much it makes you weird, makes it weird. And I subscribe to that notion now. Had for a little bit, maybe not practicing as much, but if you're my friend, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I love each and every one of you. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to tell your friends that on a regular basis. Be willing to open your home if you can. I got 2 seats, no waiting. More alcohol than I can drink. And if you ever need me, if you don't know me, you know where to contact me. Or email, comment here. I do try to, whatever comments I've gotten. But not me. Reach out to a friend. Reach out to family. If this year has taught us anything, that maybe we need to put our differences aside. Reach out to that friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe if you need to, be that family member that crosses over. Try, because we're only here for a finite amount of time. Grudges have a way of grinding you down, taking pieces of your soul away. That's about all I got. And I'm not going to end it our normal way. Love you. Please take care. I want to see you on this side.